Hey everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we're jumping into this video today. Top 10 scariest rides in the world. This is 2022, so it's a couple of years old, this video. I mean, I used to like a roller coaster as a kid, but as I get older, not so much. Not so much. So let's jump in and let's have a look at this one, shall we?
As someone who's ridden a lot of rides, and I mean a lot of rides, they don't faze me like they used to. I remember as a kid being terrified of roller coasters.
See,
Something
it's the
about the
opposite
height
for me.
and speed
Opposite.
really put me on edge. Now that I've ridden roller coasters all around the world,
Oh
roller
my God.
coasters don't scare me at all, not even slightly. The rides that do still freak me out are the ones that play with your senses, make you feel unsafe or unsettled. It's rare that something like this happens, but every once in a while an attraction
We have
comes
that one
along
we call
that
the
actually
giant
freaks me
drop.
out. These are the 10 scariest rides that I've
Whoa,
ever ridden.
what the
Now, I
hell
wanna
is
start things
that?
off with Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Mountain Monster. Mountain Monster is actually a complex made up of a couple different rides, including a drop tower and saddle swing, but this is the main headlining attraction. It's kind of similar to a sky coaster, except you're actually sitting in a seat, strapped in. They tilt you forwards like a dive coaster, and then release you, and you plummet to the ground, dangling from cables. I think what makes this so scary is the fact that the restraints are pretty minimalist. We're talking about some pretty tight seat belts. The fact that
Oh
it
my
forces you to
God,
the
look-
ground and
oh
that
my
you know cables are the only thing preventing you from dying. It's definitely an awesome thrill that I recommend checking out. At the number 9 spot, we have what was at one point the world's tallest starflyer, but it's the tallest starflyer I've ever done. This is the one down in Orlando, and I've done this one countless times. It doesn't get me quite like it used to, but it still puts me a little bit on edge. I don't know if I'm quite at the level where I'll put my hands up while riding this thing. I'm still holding on. This thing's about 450 feet tall. So it's absolutely enormous, and you're hanging
and you're
from
on
chains.
Yeah,
so while I know that
exactly.
they're perfectly safe, it's again one of those things that plays with your senses and makes you feel like something could go wrong at any time.
See, they're all perfectly safe until they're not. You know, everyone says, oh, they're perfectly safe until one of those bucket seats go flying across the car park, you know, or a cable snaps or something, you know. It happens all the time.
But let me tell you, the views are awesome. The ride experience is great. It's super long. I always have a blast on this thing, but it doesn't mean it doesn't freak me out a little. At the number 8 spot is a ride that on paper shouldn't be terrifying at all.
What the hell is
This is a remote
that?
theme park in Japan that I visited, and all it is a calm little bike ride along some track. It's roller coaster track, but it's completely human powered. There's no electricity or anything. Unlike the other attractions, what makes this one terrifying is that it does feel unsafe. There are 2 seats per car, and each one of them are positioned over the rail. So part of your body is just ever so slightly hanging outside the track, and you know that you could easily just jump off and you die instantly. And it plays with your senses even more when you go around this turn when you're
Look at that. Look how high you are.
the ground. The track banks slightly outwards. It is so freaky. I was way on edge doing this thing. It was a ride that I didn't expect to freak me out, but I'm on this thing and I'm like, I don't know about this guy.
Because look how rusty everything is as well. But the thing is, because it's people powered, you know, roller coaster, you're in, you're out, you know, you're flying past. This one, you kind of doing it yourself and you slowly. Oh my God. No, I don't even know if I'd do that. Nope. Nope.
I'm so glad I did it, and honestly, it's one of my favorite attractions I've ever done. Let's head to Las Vegas, Nevada for the number 7 attraction. This is Big Shot, which is an S&S drop tower on top of
I think that's the one we got, the big
formerly
drop.
Stratosphere
Yeah.
Hotel. The actual tower is only 160 feet tall. The problem is,
And then they
it's
just
on
drop
top
you.
of one of the tallest towers in the world, so the total height is over 1,000 feet in the air. So you are launched to the tippy top of this thing, and because of the way you're seated, you don't know how much higher you're going to go. So when you shoot up, you feel like you're just gonna rocket straight off and then fall to the ground and you're gonna die. It's already unsettling being at that top deck of that hotel, but then when you ride this thing, it's like, oh my God,
Man,
this is
look at the view though.
But you want to talk about a better drop tower?
The view is
Orlando
amazing.
Freefall at Icon Park. Yes, the same place that houses the Orlando Starflyer just recently built a drop tower, and this thing is freakishly tall. It sits at ground level, so it plays with a different kind of fear than what Big Shot does. Big Shot messes with your head because of how high up you are.
Yeah.
This plays with your fear because you realize how long of a fall that is. You drop and you're falling for an uncomfortable amount.
Oh my God. My stomach just went just looking at his feet hanging over that edge. Oh my God. I'm not even on the bloody ride and I feel it.
Time.
Oh my
Not to
God.
mention, the seats tilt about 30 degrees. This is a ride that is so thrilling. My hands sweat every time I ride it, but I love it. It's so good. Most drop towers
Oh my
don't freak me
God.
out, but this is one that does, and I love it. So now I made it to the number 5 spot. Let's go down the road to Kissimmee,
is
Florida.
this?
And there's a lot of sky coasters out there, but by far the most thrilling one I've ever done is the world's tallest at Fun Spot Kissimmee.
Is it like
Now,
a big
the best sky
swing?
coaster? Well, I haven't done Royal Rush at Royal Gorge in Colorado. That one by
Oh
far looks to
my
be the scariest.
God.
But this one's pretty crazy. I mean, it's located directly over water, and there's a fountain right at the bottom that you feel like you're just gonna hit. Not to mention, when you're 300 feet in the air, you're literally free falling, and you're in a freaking suit. It's the same sort of fear of what Mountain Monster is, except for this, they just removed the vehicle. This is about as close to free falling as it gets without skydiving. For the number 4 attraction, let's go back to the Strat. They have a couple rides up there. We already talked about Big Shot. Let's talk about Insanity. And this might be the most perfectly named ride ever to exist, because that's all you need to know. It's absolutely insane. You sit in these chairs, which, first of all, it's only
They don't look very safe.
Already, that's terrifying. It takes you out over the edge, and then it starts rotating. You're literally forced to look down over 900 feet below you. I'm literally sweating just talking about this ride. Whoever designed this ride is a complete psychopath. You talk about a ride that is unsettling. I literally did this once, and I was like, I'm not doing that again. It was that terrifying. Definitely one of the biggest adrenaline rushes I've ever had in my life. But it's only at the number 4 spot. We still got some crazy ones coming up. We've made it to our top 3. Let's go to Colorado. This is Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park. One of my favorite places I've ever been, and they have a ride that is so messed up. This is the Giant Canyon Swing. It's an S&S Screamin' Swing. 4 riders sit back to back.
Oh my
Depending on which side
God.
you're at, you either look straight down at the canyon below, or you get launched off the canyon looking straight up at the sky. And you know, you would think that the side where you're forced to stare straight down is scarier. It's not. The side where you're getting launched off is way freakier. This is a ride that absolutely made my heart race. I had the courage to do it more than Insanity. This is another one of those rides where I say, whoever came up with this thing is messed up. You almost get more people watching it than riding it, but it's so photogenic. So if you go here, be sure to bring your phone, because you're going to want to take a lot of pictures. When I went, I spent a full day here, and I'm so glad my phone was fully charged. That's why I use the Anker 521 Charger Nano Pro. It charges 3 times faster than the original chargers that Apple gives you. My iPhone 11 will go from 0% to 20% in just 12 minutes. We tend to do a lot of editing on the go, and so it's important for us also to have a fully charged computer for those long car rides when we're going from park to park. And the Anker 521 Charger Nano Pro supports a 40-watt max output, which means that your MacBook Air will charge at full speed when using a single port. Not to mention, it's identical in size to those typical iPhone chargers you guys are used to. But this one has double the output. And don't worry, for those of you non-iPhone users, if you have a Galaxy or Google Pixel, this will absolutely work with it too. We're constantly filling up electrical outlets to charge all of our gear, so the fact that Anker offers not just a single port option with the 511 Nano Pro, but also a double port option with the 521 Nano Pro makes my life a whole lot easier. We can charge an iPhone and AirPods at the same time and still leave those other outlets open for our camera equipment. And so many of these cables that we're using nowadays stray away from that standard USB port in favor of USB-C. So the fact that I can finally use those without needing an adapter makes my life way easier. I'll throw a link to where you can get yours in the description down below. So that way, next time you're at a theme park, you'll be all set for a fun-filled day, and you'll get that perfect shot of whatever crazy throw ride you get on next. And our number 2 attraction is one that you'll definitely want to capture the moment for. This is Pterodactyl at Cave of the Winds. So take Mountain Monster from earlier and put it in a canyon. So before, where you're dropping towards Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, now you're dropping into a cavern below, and you think you're going to hit the rocks on the other side.
Oh my God, you're swinging it as well.
This is a 400-foot cavern. So yeah, you could like fit dragster from top to bottom. And this thing plunges you all the way down, gives you a real scenic look. But it's honestly kind of hard to focus on the view when you're like totally freaking out. This is another one of those attractions where I only rode it once. I'm so glad I did it, but man, it was terrifying. But would I do it again? I mean, yeah, probably. Hey, there's nothing quite like that first time ride. Once you did it, you feel like...
And out of all of them, that one probably would be the one that I would do. The rest of them over buildings and stuff, I don't know, that freaks me out. This one would kind of be fun. Staying from this side of the screen, obviously.
Like you can
I'd probably do that one. So I don't know. I like the look of that one.
Unless we're talking about our number 1 attraction. No way.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Extreme is our number 1 scariest ride. and it is the third and final attraction in Las Vegas,
What
Nevada at the Strat.
the
I don't think
hell?
I've ever been so stressed in my life than riding this thing. And it's so simple. We're literally talking about a seesaw, but they put it on top of a freaking building. So
Oh,
it tilts you, and then you start sliding forward, and you think you're just gonna fly straight off the tower down to the ground below, and you're gonna be dead. This is the one of the most psychologically demented attractions in the world.
Oh
I only
my
rode this once.
God.
I sat in the front row by myself, and I thought that was it for me. So if you learned anything from this video, if you want to get terrified, go to the Stratosphere Hotel in Las Vegas. They literally had 3 of the 10 attractions on here, and they even have a 4th. You can jump off the Stratosphere. I didn't put that on here because technically it's not a ride, but that's also terrifying and I recommend it. So let me know down in the comments
that
below,
one's
what are
still...
some of the scariest attractions you've ever ridden? And if you've been on any of these,
Oh
let me
my
know
God.
what you thought of them down below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do roller coaster and theme park videos from places all around the world. So thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time.
So they were terrifying. Like I said, you know, I used to love a good roller coaster when I was younger, but I don't know. I got to a certain age and it just kind of, I don't know, completely different feeling about roller coasters and height and speed at height and whatever else. I think the pterodactyl would be the only one that I would actually try on this thing. That last one, the seesaw, where you just kind of feel like you're kind of going to shoot straight off that building. Like, nah. Yeah, nah, mate. Not for me. Not for me. And those big swings that you're just kind of plummeting into the car park and everything. It's like, nah. Nah. I understand the attraction of them. You know, that instant adrenaline rush. But nah, it's just like, oh. Nope. I don't think I'd be able to do it. I don't think I'd be able to do it. So, some terrifying, obviously very exciting rides there. Let me know what you thought of them. Let me know if you have something scarier. Definitely let me know, for sure. So let me know. Yeah, nah, that one with the I can't remember what it was called, the blue one, and it's just the little bucket seats, 150 feet off the ground. Nah, nope, never doing it. So let me know what you thought of that one, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have something like this, a video like this, let me know, and I'll definitely put that on the list to react to. In the meantime, guys, make sure you stay safe, and I'll definitely see you in the next reaction video. Did you enjoy that video? Why not watch another one?